Hello everybody and welcome to the Showcast, a series of candid conversations with film and audiovisual industry professionals and creatives from all over the world, brought to you by The Film Verdict and hosted by yours truly, Matt Micucci. And on this episode, we're going to delve into this year's edition of the Marché du Film, one of the largest and most important film markets in the world, held annually in conjunction with the Cannes Film Festival. This year's edition is fast approaching and will take place from the 14th to the 22nd of May, and we'll be talking about it with its director, Guillaume Esmiol. Particular attention will be given to Switzerland being the country of honour at this year's Marché du Film, and an overview of some of its main features, which will be on offer to any of the many film and audiovisual industry professionals travelling there from all over the world. So fire up on Audio Teeny and listen to the audio waves as they fly through the air. This is the Showcast. Guillaume, welcome to the Showcast.
Hello, Matt.
I'm excited to talk with you about this year's edition of the Marché du Film, but this is the first time we talk, and what I like to do is I like to break the proverbial ice by asking my guests a very simple question, particularly since this is a podcast about movies. I'm a cinephile, and I know that many people listening to this are cinephiles as well. And here it is. What is your earliest memory of cinema?
That's a very tough question to start with. I don't know. Maybe E.T., maybe the Spielberg movie, probably because it was amazing and also a bit scary. You know, when you're a kid, you're a bit afraid of of this weird alien. But I'm not sure it's my first memory, but it's one of the earliest.
And did you always see yourself as being somehow involved in the world of film later in life? I'm talking about any professional ambition that you might have had growing up.
Yes. I always thought about that. I didn't know how because I love the work of the director. I knew I was not going to be an actor, that's for sure. But the works of director or of producers, also of music composer. I think I love the music from cinema. It has always been very fascinating for me. Later, I made my studies. I studied engineering. I studied with more in the technical division in a media company called TF1. So I went more on the TV side, but my first love was cinema.
Well, you brought up your interest and passion for music composition in film, and I can't help myself. So here's another cinephile question that just popped into my mind as you were saying that. Are there any scores or soundtracks that you are particularly fond of?
Oh, it's difficult. I think the soundtrack of Interstellar, it's very, I don't know how to say, but very simple and at the same time very deep. And I love this movie, and I think the soundtrack is perfect. So yeah, maybe this one, but it's just the first one. As far as I'm saying, I'm giving an example of Hans Zimmer, but it's just the first one that comes to my mind right now. I can't make a choice. I love so many music, so it's difficult to decide.
Well, Guillaume, you'll be happy to know that the tough questions are over for this podcast. So let's get to the reason why we're here today recording this conversation, and that is the Marché du Film, one of the largest and most important film markets in the world, held annually in conjunction with the Cannes Film Festival. This year's edition is taking place from the 14th to the 22nd of May, and so it's fast approaching. How are preparations proceeding? Is everything set and ready to rumble?
Not everything is set in place. We are we are still installing many things right now. You have to know that the team is still installing its own computer furniture today. So we are really in the middle of the mess. We are used to that now. It's something that we've been doing since several years for me and for much more for some people of my team. So it's a mix of excitement and of pressure that is very particular to our event. But no, we still have a lot to do.
Now, you yourself officially took over as the director of the Marché du Film last year. So that was your first edition in charge. Is that correct?
Yes, I was a deputy director for 2 years with the previous director, Jérôme Payard. And the last edition was my first one, I would say, alone as the director of the Marché. So it will be my second edition this year. But I think I am very lucky. I had 2 years with Jérôme. So, we had some time to make a transition. And at the same time, I tried to bring my own touch to the event. So it's very interesting.
And when you talk about bringing your own touch to the Marché, as you put it, your own perspective, if you will, how would you describe that? What do you feel are the distinctive traits that you bring to the table with your own expertise and your own background?
because I don't come directly from the film industry, I think I needed some time to understand how the marché is working. And now that I understand it, it's funny, when you come from another, I come more from the TV side and from the innovation side. So when you come from another sector, you may ask some stupid questions at the beginning that are not stupid at all. So what is the marché? Who is buying what to who? And now I like to say that actually we have 3 markets inside the Marché du Film. The first market is really about selling completed films. So it's the sales companies selling films to distributors and now also to the streamers. The second market is the market of financing the films that are not made for the moment, your film projects. So it means to find some co-producers. It means to find some financing from funds, so some incentive and financial aid from institutions and film commissions, for instance. Or also it's also something that we're doing through our program. So last year we have launched the Investor Circle, which is a program where some project can pitch in front of private investors. We have launched Spotlight Asia, who is making the connection between European and Asian funds. That's the second market. And the third market is more the market of knowledge. By that, I mean that I want the Marché du Film to be positioned on all the key topics of the industry in order to explain them and also to imagine how it can be applied to the film industry. So by that, I mean the topics such as sustainability in the film industry, or also innovation. I insist a lot on innovation. I want really the Marché du Film to be the most innovative market in the world. So for instance, this year we're going to speak a lot about artificial intelligence, not only to speak, also to show how it's working. We will have some demonstration and some concrete use case applied to cinema, and also to be able to speak about the issues that it can create. So artificial intelligence is going to be a big focus for us this year.
Well, no doubt there's so much that needs to be considered when putting together an edition of the Marché du Film. And in a moment, I'll be asking you to maybe tell us about what makes up the bulk of its 2024 lineup. But I wanted to ask you about Switzerland being this year's country of honor at the Marché du Film. What does that mean? What does that entail?
Yes, of course. So yeah, we always try to have a country of honor that is able to cover a lot of activities at the Marché du Film. Switzerland is going to cover 7 different programs of the Marché du Film, including Producers Network, which is our program made to connect producers with co-producers. Cannes Docs also about documentaries. Cannes Next, because Switzerland is a very innovative country. So they will bring some startups who are going to be at the Palais des Festivals to show their solutions. They are going also to participate to Spot the Composer. And Spot the Composer is a program about connecting music composer with the producers. They are going also to be in many programs like Shoot the Book, who is made for book publishers. They are going to be in our programs, and they are going also to be our partner for the opening party of the Marché du Film, which is always a highlight of the Marché. So yes, Switzerland will be very strong this year at the Marché du Film.
So Switzerland prominently featured in this year's Marché du Film. But of course, this is an event attended by film and audiovisual industry professionals from all over the world. So just to give an idea, do you know roughly how many will be traveling to Cannes to attend this year's Marché du Film?
We had this question after the pandemic, are the professionals going to come back at the markets? And the answer is definitely yes, because we are going to break again our record of participation this year. We are probably going to reach around 15,000 professionals at the Marché, which is huge. We are even surprised that it's that much. So it's a good signal for the Marché. It means that the people are willing to connect in person, and they're coming from all over the world. I like to say that the Marché du Film is probably the most international market. We have people from everywhere, between 120 or 130 different countries. So it's a lot of people.
So Guillaume, I'm well aware that time is of the essence, and that as the Marché du Film is fast approaching, you have a lot to do, you have a lot of meetings to get to. So this year's program is so vast that there's so much going on. And so I would simply like to ask you a very broad question, and take as much time with it as you like. But what would you say are some of the highlights that we haven't talked about of what will be happening this year at the Marché du Film that you feel we simply need to know about?
We started a lot of new things last year, so we are continuing those activities. So one of them is the Plage des Palmes, the new version of the Plage des Palmes. It's a venue that we install on the Croisette, on a beach in the Croisette. And it's a venue made to mix a bit the population, the people from the Croisette, the people from the Palais des Festivals, with many activities, with conferences and big summits, with also business lunch. It's a place also to have your lunch during the festival, and some casual networking. So it's a big investment for us. We have launched this venue last year. It worked very well, so we're going to do that again this year. As I said before, we launched some new programs. So the Investor Circle or Spotlight Asia worked very well. This year, we are launching another program called Cannes Remix. And I like to say that we are developing our IP market because we already have Shoot the Book, which is a program dedicated to the adaptation of books into films. Now we have the Cannes Remix. So it's about the adaptation, of some movies in other languages and in other territories. And we also have an extension of our program Spotlight Asia this year. In Spotlight Asia, we're going to have a showcase of Asian IPs. That can be books, it can be animes, it can be video games. So those three components, they are what I call our IP market. That's new from this year. And this year, we have also a new partner on artificial intelligence. Microsoft is going to come to Cannes and to install at the Majestic Beach. They're going to install some demonstrations about artificial intelligence. They're going to organize some panels. So it's very interesting to be able to rely on a strong technical partner on those subjects, who they bring their technical expertise, and we bring the world of cinema. So it's important for us to connect the tech world and the film industry together to be able to understand better those topics. That's it. There are so many other things, but that's just a few examples.
Wow, you're right. There's certainly so many things going on that are going to be taking place at the Marché du Film. We managed to cover a lot of ground on this podcast, but if anyone listening to this would like to know more, the info is up there at the MarcheDuFilm.com website. Guillaume, I know you're in the midst of putting the final touches to make sure that anyone attending can make the most of this experience. And so I appreciate you taking the time off your busy schedule to talk with us. Best of luck. And thanks for joining us.
You're welcome, Matt. Thank you very much.
Well, I hope you enjoyed my conversation with Guillaume Esmiol, director of the Marché du Film. And again, you'll be able to find more info on this year's edition of the Marché du Film by visiting their website, MarcheDuFilm.com. As for us, we'll have plenty more podcasts from Cannes and beyond coming your way over the next while, so keep an eye out for all podcast content delivered to you via the TFV network, the newly established podcast network of The Film Verdict, with podcasts and conversations with film professionals and creatives from all over the world, available on all major streaming platforms. Wow. Till the next time, this is Matt Micucci signing off. See you soon.